Now I shall share my screen. So before I begin, I would like to seek prayers from all the Vaishnavas so that I can speak on the topic which I have prepared a little bit. And if I commit any mistakes, so I also seek forgiveness well in advance. And requesting all of you to kindly participate for 15-20 minutes, and then we will be done with this. So this shloka is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila. You would have heard the shloka many times, 20.108 and 109. जीवेर स्वरूपे होय कृष्णेर नित्यदास कृष्णा कृष्णेर तटस्थ शक्ति भेद अभेद प्रकाश. So the topic we are discussing is that how can we have the happiness which remains with us, because this is the main thing which everybody is trying to achieve. If you see people who are working, they are going for the job because they want to earn some money. They earn money because they want to fulfill the needs of their family, their requirements, and eventually they want to become happy. But we are seeing that everybody is trying very hard to become happy, but still people are not able to become happy. Or if they are becoming happy for some time, again after some time the happiness is going away. So what can we do to ensure that the happiness doesn't go away from us and it remains with us? So we need to understand few basic things in order to achieve the everlasting peace, and that is explained in the scriptures very, very clearly. And we are also going to connect with our personal experiences, our personal life, so that we can understand that it is just not a bookish knowledge, but it is something which is a fact. So here you see in this shloka it is mentioned, Jiver Swarupe Hoy Krishner Nityadas. The meaning translation, let me read it. It is the living entity's constitutional position to be an eternal servant of Krishna, because he is the marginal energy of Krishna and a manifestation simultaneously one with and different from the Lord. Like a molecular particle of sunshine or fire, Krishna has three varieties of energy. So the point to focus here is that the living entity's constitutional position is to be the eternal servant of Krishna. Now, when we talk about becoming a servant, sometimes it is very bewildering for us, right? Because when we see the servant's condition in the material world, it is not a very good condition. Correct? You see the servants or people who are helping you or who are serving you, their condition is not very good. They are not treated well, and then we think, why should I become a servant? But see, becoming servant of Krishna is a different thing altogether. Like Sudama, when he goes to Krishna and he was praying to Krishna, so he was actually acting as a servant of Krishna. But you see, when he reaches Dwarika, what happens? Actually, he becomes a master, and Krishna voluntarily accepts the service of his devotee. And you see how Krishna is cleaning his feet and washing his feet, and then he's making him sit in his simhasan, and Krishna is also doing some abhishekam for Sudama and giving him new clothes and taking care of him, talking to him with love, a lot of love and care. So see, what is the position of a servant? When somebody tries to serve Krishna, actually Krishna starts serving the devotee. So that is what is the benefit of becoming a servant of Krishna. Krishna just enjoys to serve his devotees. But we should not be having that desire that, okay, let me become the servant of Krishna so that Krishna starts serving me. No, no, no. That should not be our desire. Our desire should be that I am the eternal servant. That's my constitutional position. That's my that's my prescribed position. Like we know that the nature of sugar is sweet. The nature of chili is hot. And then similarly, we see different things have their own nature. So similarly, the nature of the jiva is to serve. Now Prabhupada says that कि कभी कभी हम लोग क्या करते हैं, भगवान कृष्ण की सेवा करना छोड़ देते हैं. I heard this Hindi lecture, so I'm just telling this in Hindi. So प्रभुपाद कहते हैं कि कभी कभी हम लोग ये भूल जाते हैं कि हम भगवान कृष्ण के दास हैं. हम दास नहीं हैं, हम ऐसा समझते हैं. लेकिन जब हम ऐसा समझते हैं कि हम दास नहीं हैं, तो ऐसा नहीं होता कि हम दास नहीं रहते. हम कृष्ण के दासत्व को एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते. लेकिन अगर हम कृष्ण के दास बनना स्वीकार नहीं करते, तो हम माया के दास बन जाते हैं, हम कंट्री के दास बन जाते हैं, हम फैमिली के दास बन जाते हैं, हम ऑफिस के बॉस के दास बन जाते हैं। तो इस तरह से अगर हम दास नहीं बनते भगवान के, तो हम बहुत सारी दूसरी चीजों के दास बन जाते हैं। और प्रभुपाद कहते हैं बहुत सारे लोग तो घर में कुत्ता और बिल्ली के भी दास बन जाते हैं। तो दास तो हमको बनना ही पड़ेगा, चाहे हम कुछ भी कर लें। लेकिन इट इज अप टू अस वेदर यू वांट टू एक्सेप्ट द शेल्टर ऑफ कृष्णा। आप कृष्ण के दास बनना चाहते हैं या आप माया के दास बनना चाहते हैं। बिकॉज पॉइंट इज वेरी क्लियर कि कृष्ण के दास इज ऑलवेज बिंदास, विच मीन्स कृष्ण के दास कभी भी दे आर नेवर एवर मोरोस, they are never depressed. But Maya ke das is always udas. Udas in Hindi means they are always morose, they are always disturbed, they are always in anxiety. So the choice is with the jiva, with the living entity, whether you want to become a das of the Supreme Lord and become blissful, or whether you want to become a das of, Maya and then remain morose and depressed. So that is the constitutional position we have forgotten, and that is the first step, that why our happiness is not staying with us. We are trying to seek happiness in different things which are not actually going to make us happy. Like a couple of days back, I was giving this example in one of the class, that there is a man who sees that people are chewing the sugar cane, and when they're chewing the sugarcane, they're relishing the juice of sugarcane. So what he does, he finds that there are some bamboo sticks, the new bamboo sticks. So the bamboo sticks, fresh one, looks like the sugarcane stick only. And then what he thinks, okay, they are enjoying chewing this, let me also chew this. So when this person starts chewing these bamboo sticks, the new grown bamboo sticks, he is not finding any taste in it. The point is simple, because it is the bamboo, dry bamboo. What taste can it give? But you see the similar thing which is looking as bamboo, which is a sugar cane stick. It has got a lot of mellow. It has got a lot of rasa in it, a lot of juice in it, and it is giving, and people are relishing it. So similarly, when we try to enjoy our senses and try to serve Maya, try to serve our senses in the material world, we are trying to extract the juice, but we are not getting juice because the juice is not there at all. So when we are going away from Krishna, then we are inviting anxieties, troubles, and difficulties, because it is our constitutional position. It has got nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with something they say blind faith, nothing. It is very scientific. It is our constitutional position to serve, like Prabhupada has explained. If you do not serve Krishna, you serve someone else, but you serve. And when you serve Krishna, then Krishna is satisfied, devotees are satisfied, you are satisfied. But when we serve Maya, when we serve our family, when we serve other things, then nobody is satisfied. Prabhupada gives an example that the man is serving his wife for 40 years. And at the end of his life, at the end of 40 years, he's saying, can I go to Vrindavan and accept sannyas? So the wife is saying, no, 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 how can you go to Vrindavan? Then the man will say, I have done so much for you. So the wife will say, no, no, what have you done for me? Nothing. So see, even though he was serving the wife for 40 years, wife is not satisfied. But when you serve Krishna, then Krishna becomes satisfied, you become satisfied. And when you make your family a Krishna conscious family, then serving that family also, you become happy, because that family has become a devotee family now. In your family, if you have husband, you have wife, you have children who are chanting, who are doing devotional service, then they are the devotees. You might not think them as devotee, but they are the devotees. And when you are serving them, then you are actually serving the devotees. So see, it becomes blissful. As a family also, you can enjoy serving each other, and then still remain Krishna conscious and remain free from anxiety. So this was the first shloka which I wanted to quote, that Jivere Surupya Hoy Krishnera Nityadas, because we have forgotten, we have missed the first point, and that is how we start getting troubles. Now the second point which I am trying to quote it, which is from Bhagavad Gita 2.44, which says Bhogeshwarya Prasaktanam Taya Prahata Chetasam Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samadhavana Vidhiyate. Let us see what does the translation talk about. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination of devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. So you see, when we miss out the first point, that Jiver Surupyo and Krishna Nityadas, so what happens? We try to seek enjoyment in material things. And when we are trying to seek enjoyment in the material things, then we are never going to get the resolute determination for devotional service towards the Supreme Lord. Because it is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, it doesn't happen. You would have seen people who are trying to enjoy so many things. If you tell them, come to temple, have some prasadam, have darshan, they'll say, what will I do going to the temple? Come on, I want to enjoy. I want to go to paragliding, scuba diving, this, that, and all I want to do. I want to go and watch a cricket match. I want to spend money. So they will not come for free also if you call them for temple and ask them to honor prasadam and have darshan of the Lord, because it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, because they are too attached to sense enjoyment, bhogeshwarya prasaktana, then they are never going to get the resolute determination for devotion service to the Supreme Lord. So purport in proper Prabhupada is mentioning samadhi means fixed mind. The Vedic dictionary, the Nirukti says, Samyag adhiyate ismin ata tattvam yathatmyam. When the mind is fixed for understanding the self, it is said to be in samadhi. Samadhi is never possible for persons interested in material sense enjoyment and bewildered by such temporary things. They are more or less condemned by the process of material energy. प्रभुपाद कहते हैं कि हमें माया की लात बार बार पड़ती है लेकिन हम समझ नहीं पाते. Every time we try to enjoy, we enjoy, and then again we get kicked by Maya. Sometimes we spend a lot of money, we are regretting for that. Sometimes our good experience turns into bad because something unexpected happens which we are not expecting. Like that, there are so many things happening. A boy is always trying to impress a girl, but then the girl, says, "I'm no more interested in you." Then the boy is heartbroken, or it can happen vice versa also. Then the boy thinks, okay, now I cannot do anything. He goes in depression. He goes in, starts singing sad songs, this, that, and all. Stops shaving his beards, and all those things happen. Then after some time, when this boy again sees some other good girl, again he starts doing the same activity. And if it is successful, it is good. But if it is not successful, it is again the same story. And when it is successful, also just imagine the life which is based on the material sense enjoyment. The boy is attracted towards the girl because the girl was looking beautiful, and the love is successful. They get married, but the same girl can never be similarly beautiful, and the same boy also can never be handsome in the similar manner. After a couple of years, they lose their bodily beauty, and when they lose their bodily beauty, because their entire relationship was on the basis of the bodily concept, so they starts hating each other, start annoying each other, and it becomes difficult for them to tolerate each other because it was on the basis of sense enjoyment. That's the whole point. When we are trying to do sense enjoyment, we are again and again kicked by Maya, but we do not understand that. So this is the second point. If we are trying to do so much of sense enjoyment, then we are never ever going to get the happiness and peace of mind. Now the third shloka which I'm going to quote, it is from Bhagavad Gita chapter number 5, shloka number 29. Let us see what Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying, Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarva lokamaheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam jnatmanam shantim rachati. So Lord is saying, a person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains the peace from the pangs of material miseries. So Prabhupada was also mentioning in one of the lecture, he says that हम लोग भूल गए हैं कि हम लोग कृष्ण के दास हैं, इसलिए हम लोग हमेशा परेशानी में रहते हैं. लेकिन डरने की बात नहीं है, घबराने की बात नहीं है. जैसे ही आप ये समझ जाते हैं कि मैं तो कृष्ण का नित्य दास हूँ, तो आप भगवान की सेवा में तुरंत लग जाइए. और जब आप भगवान की सेवा में लग जाओगे तो आप फिर से प्रसन्न हो जाओगे. There is nothing to worry about, there is nothing to fear about, but we need to try. If we do not try, then we are never ever going to even understand this. We are trying so many things, right? When you want to buy a new shampoo which has come in the market, they will say we are giving you free trial package, and we try, and then we like it, then we start using it. We try so many things. Nowadays, people before getting married, they want to talk to each other, correct? They just don't want to blindly get married. They want to talk to each other, they want to understand each other, and then they get married, correct? Because trying is important, right? So if you do not like a particular dish, you at least try. Then you'll say, oh yeah, it was actually good for my body. So yeah, it was not that bad. So we need to try. So if you like it, you accept it. If you don't like it, you don't accept it. But what is the harm in trying? So that is why Krishna is saying here that, in 5.29, you must understand that, knowing me, that Krishna is the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities. People are trying to go so many places, so many, things they are doing, so many kind of babas they are visiting, so many things they are trying, astrologers, this, that, and all, but ultimately they're not becoming happy. They can easily become happy when they understand this point by knowledge, not by blind faith, but by proper understanding. And how does that proper understanding comes? That understanding also it is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. That is the process. We need to understand from the right sampradaya. We need to understand from the in a service mode. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. We need to ask, and then we need to do the sevya, serve the devotees. Only then the devotees are going to reveal this knowledge to us. So this is the process. And this process, if we try to understand, then we understand, oh, actually Krishna is the ultimate beneficiary of all the sacrifices and austerities. Okay, now let me serve the Supreme Lord under the guidance of devotees and the Vaishnavas, and by accepting the initiation from the spiritual master, then my life is perfect. See, there are so many people who are trying to make their life perfect, but they are not happy, right? Big perfection is not about money. Many times people have this misconception that Bhagavad Gita talks about work is worship. They are foolish. Bhagavad Gita does not talk only about work is worship. There is a shloka which says there is a shloka which says, I'm forgetting the shloka. If anybody can remind me, it's about work. Okay, anyways, when I recall, I will mention that. That shloka talks about the work, wherein we need to work and leave the results for Krishna. So that's the shloka which talks about this. But Bhagavad Gita does not talk only about that. Bhagavad Gita talks about, Krishna says, Man mana bhavo mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Two shlokas Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying in the end of Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham toam sarva papebhyo moksha shyami ma sucha. He's saying all kind of religions which you have created, you give that up and come and serve me. So giving up religion doesn't mean that Hinduism, Muslim, Christianity. No, giving up religion means different types of prescribed duties which you have created for yourself. You give that up and then you surrender onto me. So that is the thing Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying, always think of me, remember me, worship me. Krishna is saying, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yo Me Bhaktya Prayachati. Krishna is saying so many things, but people just pick up only one thing. Work is worship, so you become a donkey and keep working. But Prabhupada says that don't work like a donkey. You are working 16, 17 hours and wasting your life. You can be satisfied by 2 chapatis, but why do you want 10 chapatis? So that is what Prabhupada is mentioning. So we need to understand that after many struggles, we have come in this consciousness where we can understand Krishna. There is a sloka which says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gyanvan Mam Prapadyante Vasudevam Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. So after we have reached this Sudurlabha position, why should we waste our life just by working like a donkey? Yes, we must work, but we must work in a balanced manner wherein we can give our some time for our reading, for our hearing, for our preaching, for our association with the Vaishnavas, for doing services. That is the proper and perfect intelligent human life. So see here, Krishna is saying, I will just read this purport by Prabhupada and then we can wind up. It is 6:35. Just 15-20 seconds of your attention. Prabhupada says, the conditioned souls within the clutches of illusory energy are all anxious to attain peace in the material world, but they do not know the formula for peace, which is explained in this part of Bhagavad Gita. The great peace formula is simply Lord Krishna is the beneficiary of all human activities. Men should offer everything to the transcendental service of the Lord because he is the proprietor of all planets and demigods thereon. No one is greater than he. He is greater than the greatest of the demigods, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma. In the Vedas, Shvetashwar Upanishad 6.7, the Supreme Lord is described as Tam Ishwaram Paramam Maheshwaram. Under the spell of illusion, living entities are trying to be lords of all they survey, but actually they are dominated by the material energy of the Lord. The Lord is the master of the material nature, and the conditioned souls are under the stringent rules of material nature. Unless one understands these bare facts, it is not possible to achieve in the world, either individually or collectively. I'll just repeat this. Unless one understands these bare facts, it is not possible to achieve peace in the world, either individually or collectively. This is the sense of Krishna consciousness. Lord Krishna is the supreme predominator, and all living entities, including the great demigods, are his subordinates. One can attain perfect peace only in complete Krishna consciousness. The fifth chapter is a practical explanation of Krishna consciousness, generally known as Karma Yoga. The question of mental speculation as to how Karma Yoga can give liberation is answered herewith. To work in Krishna consciousness is work with complete knowledge of the Lord as the predominator. Such work is not different from transcendental knowledge. Direct Krishna consciousness is Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga is the path leading to Bhakti Yoga. Krishna consciousness means to work in full knowledge of one's relationship with the Supreme Absolute. And the perfection of this Krishna consciousness is full knowledge of Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A pure soul is the servant, is the eternal servant of God and his fragmental part and parcel. He comes into contact with Maya, which is illusion, due to the desire to lord it over Maya, and that is the cause of his many suffering. As long as he is in contact with matter, he has to execute work in terms of material necessities. Krishna consciousness, however, brings one into spiritual life, even while one is within the jurisdiction of matter, for it is arousing of spiritual existence by practice in the material world. See, when we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we are sitting in the material world. But when we are chanting Hare Krishna, we have come to the spiritual existence. So the Lord is not partial towards anyone. Everything depends on one's practical performance of duties in Krishna consciousness, which helps one control the senses in every respect and conquer the influence of desire and anger. And one who stands fast in Krishna consciousness, controlling the above mentioned passions, remains factually in the transcendental stage, or Brahma Nirvana. The eightfold yoga mysticism is automatically practiced in Krishna consciousness because the ultimate purpose is served. There is a gradual process of elevation in practice of yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, but these only prefer perfection by devotional service, which alone can award peace to the human being. It is the highest perfection of life. And with this also, I think this is the last shloka of, yes, this is the last shloka of fifth chapter. So I hope these points were clear. We discussed a quick recap. We discussed about what is the constitutional position of Jiva, a human being. The constitutional position of a Jiva is to remain as the eternal servant of Krishna. Then we talked about being servant of Krishna does not mean that, like the servants are in the material world. When you become servant of Krishna, actually Krishna starts serving the devotee. So it is always very blissful to become the servant of Krishna. It is not the ordinary servant which people see in the material world. And we can see the great examples like Dhruva Maharaj, when he became the servant of the Lord, he was blissful. Like Sudama, when he was serving the Supreme Lord, he was always blissful. Like Arjuna, when he became the servant of the Supreme Lord, actually Krishna became his servant and he was riding the chariot for him. So we have seen several examples in the scriptures where Krishna actually starts serving the devotee when the devotee starts genuinely worshipping and serving the Supreme Lord. So in our capacity, we must serve to the fullest to ensure that we are always pleasing the Supreme Lord, and then we will remain in our constitutional position. People who miss out this path, they go to this sense enjoyment thing. When they go to the sense enjoyment, it is an absolute loss of human life because they try to enjoy so many things and actually they don't get anything out of it. They become all the more hungry, all the more unsatisfied. Their thirst is never quenched. So it is very risky to go to this path where Bhagavad Gita 2.44 says that don't get too attached to sense enjoyment because it is going to remove all your determination towards the devotional service. Then Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita 5.29, he says, the moment you understand this, that I am everything, I am the predominator, I am the boss, then you start serving the Supreme Lord under the guidance of Vaishnava, under the proper disciplined succession by Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnana Sevya. So when we do this, then we come in our real consciousness. So it is not very difficult for somebody to come back to this understanding that I am the supreme, I am the servant of the Supreme Lord. And the moment we do this, we become happy, we become blissful. So with this, I would like to end here. If I have exceeded my time, I'm seeking apologies. Please forgive me. And if I've committed any mistakes, also please forgive me. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask your questions. And if you have any comments, also you are free to make the comment. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patita Pavan Guru Maharaj ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.